it's Karma, and since everyone's been going through this whole coronavirus thing, I wanted to do something different today, and I wanted to do some SFX makeup. So I think I'm just gonna do like a little cut on my hand or something, and let's just get right on into it, I guess. So I'm just gonna show you what you need. I have some liquid latex. You can't read it, it's backwards, I know. But it's liquid latex. And then you need some cotton balls. Mine are super jumbo. Some foundation. This is like BB cream. It's not actually foundation, but you're gonna need some makeup wedges because you don't want to actually ruin a beauty blender. But even though I just said that, I have a tiny beauty blender for like bruises and stuff. I have these stacks of cream paints. There's red, purple, gray, and then black. And then I also have this cream paint. It's from Wet n Wild. It's just red. And then I have some assorted brushes that I use for stuff. And then you're going to need setting powder. This is loose, light touch, colorless powder. And this is just some skin color. Oh, some things just fell out. Just like some skin color powder. And then you're going to need, as a final touch, some blood. This has vampire blood because I got it in like a vampire kit and something. But here we go. Okay, so to get started, you will need like a tray or something that you can put your alcohol, not your alcohol, obviously not alcohol because that would be bad. Put your latex on. I have this little plastic thing, and I'm just going to squirt some latex on, like so, like that. And now we have some latex, and now we want to close it back up because we don't want it to dry out. And then, okay, that makeup brush is for another thing. And then we want to grab some cotton balls, and we want to unwind them. You know what I'm talking about? I don't really know how else to describe it. You're basically just gonna unroll. Oh, that didn't work. You're just gonna unroll the cotton balls like this, so they're long ways, and then you only will probably end up needing one, but I always do two just to be on the safe side, just so I make sure I have enough. So it's like this. And then once you have that, you want to grab a brush. Okay, this one's a little dirty, so let me find another one. Just gonna get a brush, and I'm gonna clean this real quick. Sorry guys. This one has red on it, so I don't want there to be red in my latex. I'll probably edit this out anyway, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But just give me a second. I'll do this. I feel like I used a different brush last time. Probably, but here we go. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna use my fingers. I don't even care at this point. Oh no, I use one of these. That's what I use. I get a beauty sponge. And then, where did it go? I'm sorry, I'm a mess, guys. It just moved me. Anyways, I have this little tool that's like for smoothing it out, but I guess I'm gonna use this orange stick. It's for like pushing your cuticles back for nails. So you grab a beauty sponge, and I've already cut the top off because I used it before, and that's an easy way to reuse them. You just cut off the piece you used. And on the space you're going to do it, you're just going to lay down around the edges, and you're just gonna make like it nice and latexy, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it. But so now I have some latex laid down. I'm just gonna add a little bit more if that's not enough. You want a decent amount, but not like too big, too much, because then it'll just get too messed up. And then, okay, we're just going to take a piece of our cotton, just like this, we're going to see if it's long enough, or make sure it's the right length. And you're just gonna lay it down like so. And then you're just going to smooth that out with your skin, but you want to cover it with latex first. So you're going to get some latex on your sponge and just go over it. Go over the cotton with the latex. That way the latex is all in the cotton. That way the cotton's like gooey. That's not a very good word to describe it, but it is. So you want it like laid down and flat with your skin, because that way it'll like blend in. That way you can just blend makeup over it. There's a piece of cotton on me. Yeah, it does stick to you guys, so just be ready for that. And you just wanna, basically it looks like a giant bump on your hand, but it'll look better in the long run, guys, I promise. And then you want to make sure on your side that's the outside of your cut, you want to make sure it's like really blended in with your skin. And you can make the latex go out farther. That way it goes out farther. And then on this inside, you're going to take your orange stick, or like a scalpel, not really a scalpel, like something flat like this, and we're just going to pick up the inside so that way it will look like a skin flap, and then we don't want it to dry on the skin, so we're just going to pick it up so that way it looks like this, because we only want one side attached to our skin, and we want it to look like this. And then we're going to lay down another piece of cotton right here and then do the same. So you want your thing to look like that, and then you're just going to let it dry. I have this mirror. Oh, look, maybe you guys can see it yourself. Look, that's you guys. So I have this mirror, and I usually use it to like fan it, and it works pretty well. So we're just gonna do it like this. I also have this like big brush that I use for like powder and stuff. It's basically a powder brush, so it's not that hard to understand why I use it, but my eyes look really good. Sorry. So we're just going to blow dry it, but you want your blow dryer on cool. So now we're going to take our powder and we're going to put some in the lid. Ooh, my mirror's right here. Oops. I do that quite often. So now we have some powder in our lid, and we're just going to take our powder brush. She's actually very powdery already, but we're just gonna, oh, there's a hair in there. And we're just gonna get some powder, and we're just gonna kind of put it everywhere. Don't be scared to pile on the powder. And while you do this, you want to make sure you keep the inside of your wound up, I guess, because we don't want to push her down, so that way she doesn't look good. We want to make sure she stays looking woundy. Now it's a little sticky on the inside, so that's where we're going to get the powder, and then we're going to get the other side. I really need to work on getting 2 angles for this kind of video. We're just gonna brush into the cut. Sorry about all the powder, guys. You know, I might have already said it, but you go ham in with the powder, so that way it'll get it all. And sometimes you can go in and get more, and even go in with your finger and just rub it in there. Because, like, so, got some on my finger here. We're just going to go in the crease and just cut it in the cut and just rub it all on the inside of the cotton. That way it looks, so that way it's dry on the middle. And then you can, like, pull the edges up with your fingers gently, and it'll pull it up and, like, stretch it out, and it'll make it look more cutty. I guess. And so this is what we end up with. So then I'm gonna go in with some of the skin color powder. We're just gonna lightly brush over her because we don't want her to be too white, because then it's hard for the cotton and the latex to blend in with your skin, because the latex actually comes out kind of yellowy, you can say. And you can also do this with like a light brown like eyeshadow, or if you have some cream paint, you can easily paint her brown. But I don't have any of that stuff, so we're just going to, you can usually go in with your finger and just rub her on in the spaces she's not sticking. But you just want to make sure you get it a nice, like, almost brownish. It's kind of weird to say that, but it's kind of like a brownish color, so that way when you put it on with your, when you put your foundation on it, it'll look like quite skin colory, I guess. I don't actually know what I'm trying to say. But so for this part, I use my Big Beauty blender because it's dry and I can use it and without getting latex on it. Sorry, I have to sneeze. Okay, I'm good. So where's my foundation? Oh, it's right here. So I have this BB cream, and I also have this foundation, which is actually like, ooh, I just dropped it in my latex. This is actually like, it's Estee Lauder foundation that I can use just like a squirt of to cover it up. But most of the time, this BB cream does pretty good. I would say you put it on the back of your hand, but I can't do that quite right now. So I'm just going to put it in the tray with the latex. I got a decent amount there. See, look, because you want to be able to cover it all. And we're just going to go in with the foundation, and then eventually, and you want to make sure you blend it down the rest of your hand that way. So because most of the time your hand isn't the same time as isn't the same shade as your face. I mean, because you tan differently in different spaces, but like, you want to make sure you blend evenly out with your hand, and that the rest of your hand doesn't look a different color, because that would end badly. And then you're just going to put a little bit of her everywhere. Try to get in all the creases. But you don't want to get on the inside, because that's where we're painting. We don't put foundation there. But you want to make sure you really try to get in there, make her look natural, I guess you can say. You don't want your cut, you don't want a cut to be natural, but you want it to look not too fake. Because if it looks too fake, people won't believe you, and that would be bad. See, I did a big thing for Halloween. I did a giant, like, mouthpiece, like, that went up like this, and I sewed it, and it was really crazy. I couldn't eat or anything. It kind of sucked, because they ordered pizza, and I put the sewing thing in before we did pizza, so couldn't eat on Halloween. But, you know, you do what you gotta do for the makeup. Now, where's my orange stick? Sorry, I'm just kind of all over the place. Just gonna peel the latex off my orange stick here. And we're just gonna, again, pick up all the insides like this. Get all that out. And this is what my hand looks like. And now we're going to take the colored powder again, and we're just going to set all that foundation in place, just like so. We're just gonna put her all over. Now you can tell she's a little bit different colored, but we're just going to put like some bruising around it, because usually that works. And then we're just going to brush this powder on it, and then here comes the fun part, the actual painting. Where did I put the things? Guys, I'm losing it. I don't know what's happening. They're right in front of my face, but it's okay. So you want to get out the purple cream paint, and then you want to get out the red. I actually end up using both reds because the reds combined together looks really good. And they don't smell too good, but I guess that's okay, right? Because, well, they're not supposed to. So I have myself a nice little brush, and we're just going to mix together our reds, and we're just going to paint her right in the middle. We're just going to fill all that in. I actually use both reds because one's darker and one's actually like a lighter red. And I like both of them together because it gets just the right middle. And then the one in here is actually thicker, I guess. We put her in different spots. That way it looks like real. And then you want to make sure you paint the sides of the flaps. Ooh, got it on the outside. And you make sure you get all of it in there because you want it to look real, right? And then eventually it's gonna just start looking better and better, and eventually it'll look really real. So I'm painting the inside of the flaps right now. You can see the inside there. So I've just got a lot on my brush right there. And we're just painting away. It's actually pretty relaxing because you just get to paint without being distracted. And it looks kind of gross in the end, but that's the fun in it, right? So this is one of the makeup forms that I've been trying lately. I want to get really good in like eyeshadow and stuff, but like I don't have that kind of makeup. This is the only kind of makeup I actually like have. I know that sounds really bad, even though I say I want to get into makeup, but like it's really not that great. But so look, now we have the inside of the flaps painted, and now we're just going to grab our little beauty blender. She's a little black because I used her for black. But you know what? It's supposed to look bruisey. So you're just going to grab a little bit of red on there, and you're just supposed to just like tap her around the outside of the wound like that. You just want her to look a little red. Like that. And then if your edges go in, because the paint is kind of like sticky as you put stuff, press on the outside, you can just peel it up again with your little stick thingy. So now we're going to get into a little bit of purple, just the tiniest bit, and you're going to want to thin her out. So you're going to take your little tray and you're just going to press a little to get some of the pigment out, but you still want it to be purple because you just want the tiniest bit, because otherwise it'll look too bruised and no one's gonna believe it. You really want people to see it and be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And not be like, oh, she did her makeup. And then once you do that, it'll look a little purpley. And, oh, picked up the whole pot. But sometimes you want to drag it out in places, and that way it'll look like so. Drag it onto like your real skin a little bit in places. That way it'll look like, oh, she's actually bruising. Like, see, look. She looks kind of real. And then once you have the bruising down, I'm just going to put a little bit on this side. This side's a little left out. There we go. Now we have bruising, and now we're just going to grab some more of the red, and we're just going to tap her on top, but not too much because then it'll look bad. I know, I'm just kind of all over the place. And now you're going to grab the other side of your sponge, and you're just going to get the littlest bit of your foundation, littlest, and you're just going to put some of that right on top. I know, it's a lot of layering, but in the end, it's worth it, trust me. So now you might think, oh, that's a lot of work, and then it doesn't look good, but trust me, the last step ties it all together. You wanna know what the last step is? I don't know where it is. The blood. Because see, this just looks like a wound, right? So now, the blood is very runny, so we're just gonna need like a little... Do we have a bottle here? I need a bottle cap. So you have a bottle cap. And then we're just going to fill this bottle cap with some blood. Now, I can't tilt this and show it to you guys because otherwise it will spill. Sorry about that. But so now, I'm just going to take a brush. Basically the same brush we used for the... knocked over that bottle that I used the bottle cap from. The same brush that we used to color in the inside of the wound. And we're just going to dip it in the blood. And we're just going to coat the outside of the inside of the flap. Because once you turn it, it'll look more real. And you're just going to want to basically grab a whole scoop and just put it in the middle. Make it look like it's got blood in it, but it's not currently bleeding. Like it already like bled out. And then now comes the fun part. We're going to take our beauty blender again, and we're going to dip it in a little bit of blood. And we're just going to disperse her out. And now we're just going to start dabbing at places. And we don't want it to like, because this blood is actually very thin. We just want to like put her on the outside. Ooh, that soaked up all the blood. Ooh, okay. Sorry, that didn't work too well. Worked last time. Don't know why it's not working now. But so I guess now we're just going to scoop some on this thing, and we're just going to drip her everywhere. Because if we put it around the outside of the wound, it'll look like, oh, like she's actually cut herself, and oh no, she might end up dying. And so we got this nice little drip here. And see, if you put enough in the middle, like where we painted it red and everything, it'll end up looking like this. And then got a nice drip happening here. I like a nice drip. Oh god, I just dipped my finger in it. Oh gosh. Oops. I got it on another project that's happening here. I'm painting Uno cards currently, so just kind of got blood on my Uno cards, but it's okay. I should probably color those up before I do this kind of thing. And so we're just gonna get some more like drippy stuff happening. But see, the blood ends up actually tying it all together. But anyways, so thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, subscribe, like this video, and tell your friends. I'm kind of growing, but currently not. But I can use your guys' help. If you would like to see more SFX makeup kind of things, let me know in the comments and I'll do that. But you just gotta let me know and I'll do it, I guess. Bye, guys.